As a library media assistant, you will be writing 2 performance goals, and they should be SMART goals, which means they should be specific, they should be measurable, they should be achievable, relevant, and time-bound. As you are developing your SMART goals, keep these things in mind. What are the objectives? Your objectives should be something that you are going to increase, or it could be something that you are going to decrease. You could possibly be developing something, improving something, or saving something. As you are developing your performance goals, keep these things in mind. You are supporting the TLs and administrative support at 2 schools. You are assisting with circulation of books and equipment. And even though we are working virtually, we know that some of you are providing assistance face-to-face from time to time. You are providing support with the library collection, both print and digital. We encourage you to promote the materials in the media center, both print and digital. We definitely want you to be promoting and celebrating the reading that has taken place at your school as part of a literacy program, possibly. Some of you may be assisting with managing the library's social media accounts, or you may be making suggestions on what should be posted on the social media accounts. We encourage you to support library and technology instruction with the teachers and TLs, and you should be attending professional development to increase your knowledge and understanding of your role as a library media assistant. Now, before Ms. Taylor begins, I believe we had a few other folks who joined. So if we can get the sign-in sheet, the sign-in link posted one more time, and then I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Taylor.
Good afternoon, everyone. And I am so glad to have you here today. And I just want to go over what are SMART goals. Years ago, when my principal first started talking about SMART goals, I'm just like, what are SMART goals? So some of you may have never heard that terminology, and we want to ensure that you understand what SMART goals are so that you're able to develop your goals for the CAB County Evaluation System. So SMART is an acronym. The S stands for specific, M, measurable, A, attainable, or sometimes you'll see it as achievable, R, relevant, and T, time-based or time-bound. Since the print is so small, I decided to break this down. So we're going to start with the first letter, which is S for specific. Your goals should be precise. It should be clear to others. There go the illustration that I have with the glasses when you're at your eye exam and the doctor is asking you to read the letters and you're telling him what's clear and you are unable to read what is not clear. And with your SMART goals, if you are unable to read it and it's not clear, then when others read your goals, it will not be clear to them as well. So please make sure that it is precise. And I have an example of specific. In the example, it states, I want to increase reading. That's the goal that you started with. But is that a specific goal for your school? And a better suggestion would be to write the goal in, I will create a 3rd grade reading challenge. That is specific. It's a 3rd grade reading challenge that motivates students to increase their weekly minutes of reading. And when we look at this example, you can see that in the example number 1, although you want to increase reading, you did not provide any other information. In example 2, It provides more details to make it clear for the reader. The next letter in SMART is M for measurable. Goals should be evaluated to determine if they are achieved or when you have completed the goal. Does your goal have a numeric value associated to it? Does it have a percent that you are trying to reach? When you look at the examples of measurable, I use that same initial goal, which was I want to increase reading of third grade students. But there are no details to provide how this will be measured. When we look at the second example, it states, I will create a third grade reading challenge that motivates students to increase their free choice reading to 100 minutes per week. And generally, we're asking students to read 20 minutes per day. And with the 100 minutes per week, that would satisfy 20 minutes per day. So you want to add additional details to show that your goal is measurable. The third letter is A for attainable. Goals are realistically achieved or attained. Can you reach this goal? Is this something that is possible for you to do? Is it likely that this goal could be reached? So in my example, I went back to the original goal. I want to increase reading of third grade students. I did make it a little bit more specific. And then the better wording would be, I will collaborate with third grade teachers, or you could collaborate with your teacher librarian to create a third grade reading challenge that motivates students to increase their weekly minutes of reading. That provides more information, and just having that mere collaboration with another party can help ensure that this is something that can be attained. There are other parties that are invested in this goal. The fourth letter is R for relevant. And with the DeKalb County Evaluation System performance goals, it has to be relevant to your job or to what you are doing when you're working for DeKalb County School District. So relevant means, is this goal important to you? Is this goal important to your teacher library? Or maybe is it something important to the library media program? How does it impact the students that you serve, or the teachers that you serve on a daily basis? So in our example of relevance, I want to increase reading of third grade students. If we add a little more details to that, we can make it impactful for our school and more beneficial. I will collaborate with third grade teachers to create a third grade reading challenge that motivates students to increase weekly minutes of reading and improve MAP reading scores. So now we have taken it a little bit further and have connected it to an upcoming district assessment, which is MAP. And what we're doing by creating this reading challenge is in hopes to increase their weekly minutes of reading and also improve the scores that students receive on their MAP reading assessment. The final letter is T for time bound. Goals should have a specific time frame. You can't just say, I want to increase reading and stop. When do you want to increase reading? How long will it take before you can achieve this goal? Is there a time frame for whatever you have decided will be your performance goal. In our example for time bound, I started again with I want to increase reading of third grade students. However, in that first example, I did not include any time frame or any timeline for increasing reading of third grade students. In the second example, it gives more information. I will collaborate with third grade teachers to create a third grade reading challenge that motivates students to increase minutes of weekly minutes of reading and improve MAP reading scores by the DCSD Winter Universal Screener, which occurs in January. And with this year, everything is a little bit off. So this is just an example, because normally MAP testing would have started in August. And as you can see, we are just now beginning MAP testing, which is about 5 weeks later than when we normally begin MAP. So the winter screener should be either in January or February, and then we will do another screener at the end of the year in May. So if you choose not to use the winter universal screener, you could have also included the end of the year or the May universal screener. So I hope I have explained SMART better for you. Just remember, when you're writing your goals, to be specific, to make sure your goal is measurable, attainable or achievable, relevant to your job, and have time associated with it. It has to be time bound. Thank you. I hope that helped. And now we'll have Janie that's going to go into some interactive practice activities, and we are all going to work together to answer.
All right, here we go. So this is our goal, and let's go through this. Is it specific? Not really. Is it measurable? Encouraging reading, Lexile level improvements on all levels? Yeah, maybe, but not anything specific. Is it attainable? Yeah, you could encourage reading and Lexile level improvements. It's relevant, but is it time bound? Not at all. There is no mention of a time factor at all in the first goal. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is actually a job duty. So in order for it to be considered a SMART goal, it needs to have all of those other things that are included and be something that you are working on that's not just part of what you would already be doing. For this goal, purchase and promote books that appeal to the student population, including lower level books to match with struggling readers. That probably is already part of the job duty. Is it specific? It mentions this, lower level books. Is it measurable? With just a yes or a no, we purchased or promoted. It is attainable. It is relevant. It is certainly not time bound. So the correct answer for this would be that neither goal is specifically a SMART goal. These are the two goals, and I think I'll start by showing those first, and then we'll go to the Kahoot. Maybe that will be a little better. They are very specific. They are both measurable. They are both attainable. They are very relevant, and they both are time bound. And start to ensure that you get a goal that is time bound. You can begin with the phrase by and include some reference to a time period. Okay, so we're going to go to the next one. I'm going to show you the questions first. That probably would be a good idea. So here's the last example. We'll go back to the Kahoot after this. The triangle goal is to support the school's goal to increase the number of students scoring proficient of ELA standards by 5% on the Georgia Milestones test. The square goal by May 2020, increase circulation of media center materials by 5% over the previous school year. Okay, so that's triangle and square. And let's go over to the Kahoot and to the next. Oh, good job. Here's question 3. Oh, very, very nice.
Oh,
excellent.
Woohoo!
So when we're looking at these last examples, who can unmute and tell me specifically what the triangle goal is missing? Anyone? What is this one missing?
Time bound.
Time bound. Excellent. Thank you so much. And goal 3, even though it is a very short goal, I mean, in terms of how it's expressed, it has all of the qualifications that do make it a SMART goal. Awesome. All right, so here's some more examples, and I would highly encourage you to come back and watch this video on setting SMART goals. It is on YouTube. It is only 6 minutes long, and it is very visually appealing. I have watched it several times because when I'm in my college courses for leadership, we have to set SMART goals at the beginning of every course, and I usually go back and watch this video at least once every semester to help me make sure that I'm including everything that I should. So here are some examples on the left-hand side of the chart. These are goals that are not SMART because one or more of those traits or qualifications are missing. I will report to work on time and support my teacher librarian. Yes, reporting to work on time and supporting your teacher librarian should help improve student achievement, but it's not specific. And it's also a job duty. That's just a normal expectation of what everyone should do. That's not necessarily a goal, that should be a given. So if we look over on the right-hand side, if you were to word that by the end of the semester, I will provide face-to-face or virtual story time for all classes to increase school-wide Georgia milestone end of grade reading scores by 3%. That is much more specific. It is measurable because you have given a specific amount that you would like for those scores to increase. It is attainable. It is relevant, and it is time bound. Back on the left, a goal that is not does not meet the qualifications, I will create bulletin boards and book displays. Again, that's part of the job description, or it would be an assignment by your TL, but it's not connected to anything. Each of the goals that you have should in some way support the school's goals, which then support the district goals. And those are all about improving student achievement. So a better example would be through May 2021, there's the time, I will create monthly, there's another measure of time, digital book flyers to promote STEM books for middle grade students and increase science map scores. So by comparing one group of scores to another throughout that time, then you can determine if you have attained that. It is attainable, it's measurable, it is relevant, time bound, and it's very specific. I will attend Ed Media professional learning opportunities throughout the school year. Again, missing a lot of the qualifications, and that is really a job expectation. Here is a example of a SMART goal. By the end of December, I will attend 6 professional development courses and/or webinars related to elementary library media programs and implement new services that will enhance student learning. So those new services can be documented. You might use varying kinds of evidence to do that, maybe an email that you send out. You can even have artifacts like pictures of you delivering those new services, of course, when we are face-to-face, or even a picture of you in a Teams meeting, possibly. So that is specific, it is measurable, it's achievable, it's relevant, and it is time-bound.